The Great Hybrid War. For a long time, I've been designing a number of unique and creative hybrids and chose the best one to submit into the Hybrid War. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, a YouTuber by the name of Goji Sensor created an upgraded version of the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World, and shortly after, plenty of other content creators designed their own hybrid creations to attempt to tackle Goji Sensor. Many of them failed, so Goji Center made an event for everyone and anyone who had a hybrid to submit, and the best 16 were selected, acknowledged, and given recognition. At the time, I did not know much about hybrids, so my own creation did not make it to the final 16, but with my new knowledge, I am here to create a hybrid so strong, so powerful, that the Indom 2.0 and any other hybrid will be nothing but a speck of dust in this creature's eye. Welcome, ladies and gents. Today I'll be interrupting my usual schedule to bring you something special. Now, let's get into the fun stuff. So, Goji Sensor specified when creating the Indom 2.0 that its purpose was to wipe out all life forms, big and small, along with creating a mass extinction event. We also get to see that in the video, the Indom 2.0 carries numerous diseases that can pass on to people, animals, and virtually any life form. This creature seems to be the perfect hybrid, and many people believe that the counter to a super predator, like a carnivore, is another super carnivore, but in reality, the counter to a super carnivore is a super herbivore. So to start off with the build of this hybrid, I'll be using a combination of two unique creatures. The first of these creatures will be the Ingentia Prima. Goji Sensor himself even used the Ingentia in his own hybrid, named the Ultima Imperatrix. I'll be using the Ingentia Prima for its front limbs, mobility, and core body. These additions will help this hybrid to be a facultative biped. A facultative biped means an animal that is primarily a quadruped or walks on all fours, but can also transition to a bipedal stance, also known as on its hind legs. The second creature I'll be using will be none other than the Alamosaurus. Alamosaurus is an extinct form of sauropod that is large and herbivorous, that was known for its large size and weight. I'll be using this contributor to provide some extra body size and mass, which will prove to be beneficial since the goal of this hybrid is to be an effective tank that can destroy virtually anything and any hybrid it comes into contact with. I will also be adding the air sacs of the Alamosaurus. Air sacs are internal air chambers that are connected to the lungs of sauropods. These increase oxygen flow, vent off excess heat, and increase stamina drastically. These will allow my hybrid to have a strong and powerful roar mixed with its vocals, which I'll be covering later on in this video. The final reason Alamosaurus will be used is for those hind limbs. My hybrid is going to be extremely heavy, way heavier than the Ultima Imperatrix, so having sturdier limbs for weight bearing will definitely be necessary and will also assist in strengthening this hybrid. I will also be improving the size of this hybrid even more by including none other than the blue whale. The blue whale is the largest modern day creature, and although it's an aquatic creature, it's considered to be a mammal. These whales can reach lengths of 100 feet or more and weigh as much as 200 tons. Of course, I'm not just straight up gonna make my hybrid the same size as a blue whale because that would be ridiculous, but if this genome increases size and is carefully selected for efficacy, my hybrid would now be 70 feet in length and 25 feet tall in its quadrupedal stance, while being 35 feet tall in its bipedal stance. This addition would increase the weight of this hybrid up to 35 US tons, making the hybrid almost impossible to topple over. I've already got a large hybrid on my hands, but to destroy every hybrid, we're gonna need some form of armor. When Goji Center created the Indom 2.0, they used African dwarf crocodile. This creature provided upper and lower armor in the form of thick hide and plenty of osteoderms. This was effective, but only to some degree. I'll be using two different creatures to provide the armor of my hybrid, ensuring it is protected and well guarded almost everywhere. The first creature I'll be using will be the Glyptodon. Glyptodon was known for having a thick and strong shell of armor on its back and even had armor on its tail. Since adding a huge Glyptodon shell would be ineffective and would limit my hybrid's movement, I'll be applying the armor in segments, preferably on the back, neck, shoulders, sides, and tail. This will provide optimal protection and allow my hybrid to stay flexible and mobile enough to engage in combat without any issues. So far the armor is looking great, but the upcoming contributor will add on to this even more. For extra armor, I'll incorporate Simosuchus. Simosuchus was a 3-foot quadruped that was heavily armored on its back, underside, tail, and limbs by osteoderms. So by incorporating this genome, my hybrid will now develop tough osteoderm skin to protect any unarmored area of its body, such as its legs and stomach. These two contributors allow my hybrid to be almost impenetrable. But now, let's get to the interesting segment. Weapons, also known as forms of combat, will be difficult to apply onto a body such as this. This is because my hybrid is way too heavy to effectively swing a Thagomizer tail, or possibly charge using ceratopsian horns. Instead, I'll be incorporating Tyrannosaurus Rex DNA, as we want this creature to not only have a powerful bite force, but also have increased senses and attributes. The Tyrannosaurus Rex will provide the head, neck musculature, partial body musculature and bulk, enhanced eyesight and smell, along with other senses, part of the endocranium or brain, and padded feet. Having increased senses can allow this hybrid to spot or smell any incoming challengers or possible threats, while padded feet allow its footsteps to not be as loud and also provide shock absorption. Other benefits include a stronger bite and a more robust body. Going back to Ingentia Primo, we can see that these limbs can also be used in combat along with the hook-like claw on each of its forelimbs. My hybrid would now be able to rear up in combat and clobber or slam any creature it faces due to its immense muscle mass and body mass. Not to mention, if the claws were to make an impact, this could get way worse for an unlucky victim caught in this hybrid's path. A way we can make these arms stronger is if we incorporate Silverback Gorilla. This contributor will increase strength and musculature on this hybrid's forelimbs in order to make them stronger and more effective in combat. By incorporating this extra musculature, my hybrid will have an easier time getting around because its arms are now stronger and more reinforced, plus being more robust thanks to this genome. Any hit, slam, or clobber will be much stronger now, and possibly be able to kill a target upon impact. Improvements. This may seem like the ultimate hybrid, but there are still a few extra additions or improvements we can add to make this creature formidable. In Goji Sensor's video titled, "Can Ultima Imperatrix Conquer Jurassic Park?", we see that their hybrid is able to rear up and clobber its enemies. But my hybrid may have issues with this, since it's a whole 15 tons heavier than the Ultima. So to fix this issue, I'll be adding a creature with possibly some of the strongest hind limbs in the fossil record in proportion to its body size. Meet the Brontomerus McIntoshi. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that name, but this creature has not only the strongest legs for its body size, but also has a strong pelvis which can help for supporting large body mass and loads. I will be applying this leg musculature and this pelvis to my hybrid, and scaling it up to the size of my hybrid will mean that it may be able to rear up and attack using its forelimbs in combat. Even if this is not possible, this creature may be able to attack with one forelimb, while the other 3 limbs remain on the ground to provide balance and weight distribution. Now, something this hybrid still lacks is proper intelligence. Although I incorporated Tyrannosaurus for part of the brain, there are still other contributors and creatures that I can use to bolster this intelligence. Be prepared, ladies and gents. This creature you are about to see is so intelligent it is capable of easily problem solving, thinking clearly, and can even strategize and coordinate its own plans along with even thinking for the future. Meet? No, I'm serious. Ravens have shown extremely high levels of intelligence. In addition to this, ravens are also able to override their instincts to make more rational choices. This would be an extremely useful trait, especially when T-Rex instincts kick in. The raven also seems to develop its cognitive skills quickly, with some studies showing young ravens performing similarly to adult chimpanzees on certain tasks. This means that the executor will gain intelligence early on in its life and will be able to adapt to and remember strategies and combat tactics easier. Adding raven DNA will enhance cognitive thinking, decision-making, and problem-solving abilities of this hybrid. If we were to release a group of 4 of these hybrids, they may be able to coexist and possibly even work together. This is because this creature would now be intelligent enough to know that there is strength in numbers, and they would find no success in killing their own kind, as they would only die off quicker. And due to multiple contributors in its genome that live with their own kind, such as Tyrannosaurus and Alamosaurus, they would be able to form some kind of herd or group to fend off equal threats. These would be similar to a group of Ankylosaurus or Glyptodon, but much more effective. The final contributor in this hybrid will ensure that no disease, bacteria, or venom affects it if it is bitten. This will be the Virginia opossum. The Virginia opossum is a modern-day rodent-like creature, and it is known to have resilience and resistance toward bacterial infections and venoms. This genome will definitely prove to be useful when my hybrid is up against another hybrid that has venom or diseases, such as the Indom 2.0. Now that the complete genome is finished, let me introduce you to what this creature will look like and its name. Ladies and gents, I present to you the most effective hybrid killer and ecosystem balancer ever seen. Say hello to the Titanus Executor. Its name translates to Executor Titan. I would have called it Titan Executor, but because it is a Titan, the current name was more suiting. This hybrid could weigh in at 35 US tons and would measure 70 feet in length along with 25 feet in height when it's in its quadrupedal stance, and 35 feet tall in its bipedal stance. I would love to see you guys attempt to create an effective counter to this hybrid, and I would also be returning to my usual Roblox Rivals content or Grow a Garden unless you guys enjoyed this hybrid topic video. I simply saw a challenge, took it, and now I will go back to attending my Roblox garden. Don't forget, God loves you and Jesus loves you.